Sorry for being late with this video. Yesterday I did a 12-hour live stream and I didn't have time to download and try the Messiah DLC. This DLC is the last one that will release for Persona 5, I think, in terms of new personas. They haven't added other personas to the Japanese release, so that's why I'm fairly sure there won't be other personas unless they decide to make new ones. So as always, I will go through itemization first. I think I mentioned this in one of my older videos, but if you itemize Messiah, you will get one of the best equipments for girls. Actually, it's a unisex armor, but the defense it has is very bad for male characters, because for male characters, you can itemize Satan and you will get an armor that gives you 280 defense, something like that. I cannot check right now. And the same effect, reduced magic high. Female characters didn't have that choice, so there is probably the best or one of the best armors for female characters. There are Hatem Robe Plus that increase magic, and there's Aristocrat's Robe, I think, that increases magic evasion. So there are other choices for female characters. If you are only interested in this armor, then I wouldn't suggest you buy the DLC. Buy the DLC for other reasons and then consider this one a bonus. By itemizing Messiah Picaro, you get Insta-Heal. Insta-Heal allows your character to remove all status ailments after one turn, but there are two personas who can learn this skill, which are Ishtar at level 87 and Lucifer at level 98. They are fairly late in the game, so usually I will say there is a good skill card because you can get it much earlier than normally. It's a very good passive, but it's one of those things that I think are very good, but I've never used myself. Both Messiah and Messiah Picaro have the skill Oratorio, which I think is a misspelling of Oratorio. Oratorio fully heals your party and also removes all status debuffs. So for example, if the enemy has decreased your attack, defense and agility, if you use Oratorio, you will both heal yourself and remove the debuffs. It costs 38 SP, so it's fairly expensive. You won't be able to use it much at the beginning of the game. And before you come and say, hey, you can use Victory Cry and then use the spell at every battle, Victory Cry is definitely not at the beginning of the game. The Victory Cry is in New Game Plus. You will have access to Victory Cry after maybe 80 hours depending on how fast you go. I mean, if you're in New Game Plus, you can basically summon everything else in the game. Oratorio is a very nice skill. The problem is, at the beginning of the game, you will not have a lot of SP to sustain the spell. And towards the end of the game, I think Mediarahan is better. I mentioned that in the last video about the skill cards, but even though Mediarahan doesn't have other effects like Salvation and Oratorio, most of the time you only need the healing. And if you only need the healing, then you don't want to waste your SP for effects that you will not use, like removing your status ailments or status debuffs. The other two skills he starts with are Megidolaun and God's Hand. Megidolaun is probably the strongest spell in the game, if you don't count exclusive skills, and God's Hand is the strongest single target physical skill in the game, if you don't count Hasotobi as being single target. If you are at the beginning of the game, you're not likely to use Megidolaun that much because of SP cost, but God's Hand with some healing items to heal yourself will destroy almost everything at the beginning of the game. 1, because God's Hand deals colossal damage, and 2, because Messiah is at level 81. By leveling up, Messiah learns Regenerate 3, Enduring Soul, Invigorate 3, Dream Physical, and Almighty Boost. Before I start talking about the skills, remember that Messiah starts at level 81. He will need a lot of experience to level up, and unless you grind very hard at the beginning of the game, you will not be able to access the other skills. I already said it in the first video when I talked about one of the other DLC characters. Messiah has the problem that it takes too much for him to learn good spells, other than the initial ones, and by the time he learns the other spells, there will be other personas that have them. You also have to take into account that there is very little room for min-maxing. He starts with 50 in all stats, so if you want to make him a magical damage dealer, he will have 50 points in strength and luck that you don't need. And if you want to make him a physical damage dealer, then he will have 50 points in magic that you don't need. So you can maximize one of the 5 stats. He can reach the same damage as other personas that you can min-max, but then he will have less endurance, agility or luck. The one skill I want to talk about is Almighty Boost. Almighty Boost increases your almighty damage by 25%. There is no other personas in the game that have this spell naturally. The only way to get Almighty Boost is by doing network fusions. Network fusions are 100% random. You basically have to sacrifice one of your personas and hope you get something you want, or just reload your previous save. But if you don't want to waste your time by save scumming for Almighty Boost, Almighty Amplification and Magic Ability, then Messiah has the skill naturally. I think Messiah Picaro looks a lot cooler, maybe because of the color. He has the same exclusive skill and Mediarahan, but he learns Agneyastra instead of God's Hand. Agneyastra deals 1 to 3 medium physical damage to all enemies. It's fairly strong. It's not as strong as God's Hand, I think. I wish they taught him Gigantomachia instead of Agneyastra, because I actually prefer Gigantomachia or, for example, Swift Strike to Agneyastra. Deals 3 to 4 times light damage. I think it's more consistent than 1 to 3 medium damage from Agneyastra. The other problem with Messiah Picaro is that it starts at level 90. So the issue I had with normal Messiah is multiplied here because he has 56 or 55 in every stats. Messiah Picaro doesn't exactly have an identity as a persona. You can level him up to 99 and with 9 levels you can add 27 points. So he will not deal the highest physical damage or the highest magical damage because of stats limitations. He also needs almost 50k to level up, so you won't be able to level him up until almost the end of the game as well. The only difference between Messiah Picaro and Messiah is that Messiah Picaro learns Insta-Heal, Life Aid and Firm Stance. I've talked about Insta-Heal. Firm Stance halves all damage but removes your evasion, and Life Aid recovers 8% of maximum HP and SP after battle. If you had Life Aid at the beginning of the game, you will be one of the best kills ever, probably because of the SP limitations you have and the HP limitations you have when you do palaces. Towards the end of the game, there are many other personas that can learn this spell, and also you will be close to New Game Plus. And in New Game Plus you will have Satanel, which heals 100% of your maximum HP and SP after battle. So Life Aid at that point in the game is fairly trivial. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. And also I'm probably gonna move on from Persona 5 either after this video or very soon, because I've been playing Persona 5 for 1 month now. I've made 20 videos, I think, almost 20 videos on Persona 4, Persona 5 guides, and I also want to play other games, like for example Neo yesterday. I took a break from Persona 5 yesterday by playing Neo, and there will be other games in the future I want to play, so that's why I'm moving on from Persona 5 now. I'm sorry about that. If you wanted me to make more Persona 5 content and guides, feel free to unsubscribe. I wouldn't blame you for that. You subscribe for Persona 5 and I'm moving on, so yeah. We can part ways here. But if you decide to stay, then I hope I don't disappoint you in the future with other videos I make. I actually have no ideas for the future. Right now I'm just blank. I just want to enjoy playing games and maybe do stuff, maybe do videos about them. Oh yeah, also thank you for the 5,000 subscribers. I will make a separate video about that. So, with my face again. So yeah, look forward to that if you want. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, feel free to leave a dislike and give me some feedback. Again, thank you for watching and maybe see you in the next video. And there is another one and there is aristocrats, and there's aristocrats robe, I think.